Peace. This is Watch for Rushmore Media, back at y'all for another round. Stuck in traffic. This is crazy. Been in the same spot for like 20-30 minutes already. But in any event, so just want to go through for today's Knick talk. I've been hearing the Mount Rushmore of New York Knicks. That talk's been going around a lot lately. Who would be the four faces, the Mount Rushmore of New York Knicks basketball? For me, you have to start with the big guy, Willis Reed, right? Or, either or, Willis Reed, or you got to start with Clyde Frazier. These two guys, I would put Frazier. Frazier is probably number one. But these two guys are legendary in the sense that they provided the Knicks with their, only championships that they have. Not only that, these guys were all NBA type players, phenomenal talents. Walt Frazier also, to this day, still associated with the Knicks, still affiliated in terms of broadcasting games, and he's ever so present. Anything that got to do with the Knicks. In fact, he was going to retire, I think 2 years ago, but he ended up coming back because once the Knicks started to make that push, like they started becoming like a second round team, Clyde walked away but came back because he felt in his heart something's happening here. So that guy's all in with the Knicks. I got to put Clyde, Willis Reed. Willis Reed has one of the greatest moments in New York Knicks history, in basketball history, walking out of that tunnel in MSG. And even though he only scored like 4 points, and Clyde Frazier was the one that went off that game, but just that alone, just walking out, limping out, doing the tip-off, and just those 4 points motivated the team to another level where it helped them overcome any jitters or anything that may have got in their way of winning that game, and they ended up winning the championship off the strength of Willis Reed's heroics, walking out that tunnel that way and motivating his teammates. So I gotta have them two up there. Next, of course, the big one, PE 33, man. When the New York Knicks drafted Patrick Ewing, things turned around. They were clearly a lottery team, a bad team, a laughingstock team in the league. And when Patrick Ewing came in, forget it, man. Like the Knicks, instant credibility for the New York Knicks. And he did his thing, man. He did his thing. He led the Knicks to multiple playoff appearances. And then when Pat Riley came here, he took that tough New York grit that, especially coming from our captain, Patrick Ewing. Like, he used Ewing as the anchor to set the tone for what the Knicks would be. And it was all tough. It was all, that hardcore 94 Knicks. So, yeah, Patrick Ewing, man. You got a multiple-time NBA All-Star, countless first-team and All-NBAs, a dream teamer, played in the famous Dream Team. He not only had, not only does he have, not only does he have NBA accolades, but Olympic accolades too. So he is, he's definitely a legendary player, man. And we cannot take away what Patrick Ewing has done. Yes, he didn't win the championship, but who did? He played in an era where Michael Jordan played, and Michael dominated. Man. 6 championships, man. That's a huge chunk out of Patrick Ewing's professional career, his prime years, and there's just nothing that Ewing or anybody else could have done. Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan. So, but Patrick Ewing, man, forever my favorite Knick of all time. And yeah, so right now it'll be I have Clyde, Willis Reed, Patrick Ewing, and that fourth spot, man. That fourth spot. Oof. We could go Carmelo Anthony, or we could go Jalen Brunson for that fourth. Carmelo Anthony, don't be prisoners of the moment, y'all. Carmelo Anthony gave us some of the best Knick years we've had in the past 20 years, 25 years. Carmelo Anthony gave us some incredible years. Carmelo came here, he breathed new life into this Knicks franchise. We became competitive, something to watch, a team that teams knew you had to come with your A game every day, because Carmelo Anthony gave you a chance to win, man. He was one of the best players in the entire world when he was a New York Knick, and that was something that was rare at that time for us to have. One of the best players in the entire league on the Knicks in their prime. So you got to give Melo a lot of credit for that. But then you got JB, man, Jalen Brunson. Brunson is the ultimate underdog story. Nobody thought that Jalen Brunson, coming into when we acquired him, that he would be what we have now. Which, look at the conversation we're having. That in and of itself tells you the impact he's had. For him to be at this point, we're even debating having him as a top 4 Knick of all time. Yes, you got Bernard King, another one. Bernard King, let's not forget what he did. He lit the Detroit Pistons, the championship Pistons, the bad boys. Bernard King beat them by himself, basically by himself. Just destroyed the Detroit Pistons. We cannot forget about that, as he pulled the upset, and they beat the bad boy Pistons by himself in the playoffs. So you got Bernard King, you got Carmelo Anthony, and now you got JB, man, Jalen Brunson, coming here as an under-the-radar pickup that many media outlets laughed at. They ridiculed the Knicks. They said, wow, they spent all this money for a guy that's a bench player, and all he's done is prove time and again, just prove people wrong time and again, making an all-star game, becoming the first Knick all-star in like a decade, then becoming all-NBA and first team, and like this it's just been a progression. Every year he's reaching some sort of accolade. Now he's made it to the NBA Finals. So this is JB. There's a big argument for him to be in the Mount Rushmore. So, y'all let me know who that fourth spot should be, man. Because I got Clyde, I got Willis Reed, Patrick Ewing, and who should that fourth spot be? Should it be Jalen Brunson? Are we going to give it to him already? Or are we going to look back and say, man, listen, Bernard King has some years. Or Carmelo Anthony, or, this thing could go either way for that fourth spot. But, drop some balls in the comment section. I'm Waz for Waz Words Media. Peace.